Count it off. 3, 2, 1. Episode 40. Here we go. DB.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm feeling a little rough today.
Yeah. Like your mother likes it, right, Trebek? Rough.
Rough.
Yeah.
I'll take S words.
We're going to talk a few things before you get your ass to Disneyland. But this week, 2 videos hit YouTube. One says Vegas is about to break because the airport's too full. The other says Vegas is dying because the tourists aren't coming. Both went viral. Both can't be right, except they kind of are. We're going to talk about that in this week's episode.
Are we?
Yeah, we're going to talk about a few things.
Talk about a couple things?
Yeah.
Talk about shots?
Talk about shots. So we're going to do a couple shots of whiskey. We had another fallen bartender this week. We're going to talk about that. Rest in peace, Brian Wolfe. Bar impresario at Tenaya Creek for a long time. So we're going to get into that later in the main gist of the episode. We're going to talk about Spirit Airlines. We're going to talk about the county commission visit I did recently. We already said Brian Wolfe. We're going to talk about I met this guy that owns a few bars in Austin. His name is Brett Berry. He just joined a group. We chopped it up at the airport bar last week. We're going to talk about, do you know that they're closing Prim? And the Lotto store that so many people drive to is closing.
Oh, really?
Did you know that?
No, first I've heard of it.
VGK in round 2 of the playoffs playing the Anaheim Ducks, and we're going to talk about bro code.
Well, I mean, let's start the conversation. Maybe some people can help.
And continuation, we're going to talk urban slang, and then we're going to talk about Bourdain Day in June.
Something we've got cooking.
We're cooking. We're not chefs.
See what I did there, cooking?
We're not chefs, but we're cooking.
That's right.
There he is. If he's not CIA, I'm FBI, and that is important. We are going to be right back with episode 40. 2 sticks with the spirit of amber is the yellow of your energy.
Wow.
How about that mouthful?
Well done. I like that.
All right, we'll be right back with the main content.
Welcome to the spot where the good times flow. Chris and Darren behind the bar, putting on a show in Vegas where the sun shines bright and the stories unfold. Grab a pint, pull up a chair, let the good times roll. Sip, socialize, shine, that's the motto.
We're on main segment of episode 40. We've made it to 40 episodes.
Wow.
We almost have as many episodes as we do in physical age. What happens when we surpass that?
Then we just keep looking up.
We just stop.
No, we keep going.
What are we drinking today, Mr. Benjamin?
Here we have Carlsberg, which is a Danish beer. Then we've got some more Black Barrel.
Yeah, from our donation from our good friend, Mr. Keegan. We're going to do some Black Barrel as we shoot
And Black Barrel will play into the thing we're going to be talking about later.
Yeah. Everything has a purpose. So my intention today was when I was coming over here, I was going to stop at the local liquor store and get some Tenaya Creek beer in honor of Brian Wolfe, who passed this past Monday from cancer. Didn't think it was going to go that way for him. Thought the path was positive and forward. We went to his benefit after we did the St. Patrick's Day thing at the end of March, where we broke off for a bit. We went to his benefit at Silver Stamp, and as I texted Katie a couple nights ago, I thought things were well, and I was unfortunately wrong. So intention was to be Tenaya Creek, and then that kind of took all my spirit for a local flavor for today's episode, and I went with Carlsberg because.
So what are we doing here first? Here, are we doing the Black Barrel?
Yeah.
These little mini pint glasses or steins are courtesy of Pim's Test Kitchen in Disneyland.
There we go. Thank you, Disney. I knew Brian for a long time, from long ago when he worked at Paradise Cantina across from the old Hard Rock. I'd stop and see him when I would go see shows at the old joint back in the day when I first arrived in town.
Remember Ryan's roommate that worked there? The crazy one that we had to throw out of McMullen's a couple times? Remember that guy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Weren't we with Survey that day? Was that?
Maybe.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Sure.
But and then he moved on to Tenaya Creek up at its original location across from Mountain View Hospital before they moved to the production facility a handful of years ago down on, Bonanza.
Yeah.
So, and then unfortunately, I think he fell dire in December and it just didn't go the right way. So take it easy, man. Enjoy the suds in the sky.
Here's Brian.
Brian Wolfe. Cheers.
Carlsberg.
And Carlsberg, yeah.
Remember when this was the beer of a choice for the World Cup back in, what was it, 2012?
Yeah. A lot of beer sold like Carlsberg. Easy drinking European lager.
What is the beer of this World Cup? Do you know? Is it Heineken still?
I think they're really pushing that Heineken Silver.
Oh, is that what it is?
I'm not for sure.
Oh, I know that was for F1.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But
speaking of World Cup and all that, did you see that our good friend that sells replica soccer jerseys discovered silver stamp?
I saw your post.
Yeah.
With the little grenades.
Yeah. MR, as we call him, just sent me a picture of a little 7-ounce champagne of beers Miller High Life the other day. He's like, mate, have you discovered the silver stamp?
MR, not Mister. He's hardly a Mister. He's a Mister.
And I said, yeah, man. I go, I've been there many times. They're probably one of the best bars, if not the best bar in Las Vegas. He goes, how have we never been here?
The funniest story I've ever heard, one of the funniest stories in recent memory that he told me about his exploits at the Mandalay Bay. We won't go into detail. Maybe if we run into him, we'll let him tell it. We'll do a live or something.
Code word: soiled trousers.
God, I mean, if anybody, we love MR.
You know, I mean, we all laugh at things, but to have a truly earnest laugh like when he told us that story,
oh, God.
I mean, it was so funny, and it's as diabolical as you hope it would be that we can't really talk about.
Do you know? Okay, so like, I did Graveyard McMullen's. I used to have to do a lot of Australian sports, and without a doubt, I can say with 100% certainty that, you know, most people think you say biggest drinkers in the world, people say Irish.
Yeah.
But I will tell you right now, New South Wales, Australia holds the cake. Like, the biggest drinkers in the world. It's insane. Like,
Aussie.
yeah, man. Let me tell you, a lot of vodka soda lime.
Yeah, vodka or diet.
Oh God, dude.
Yeah.
Man, those are some crazy days doing the state of origin.
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, did you ever do that with me?
A couple times.
When it was slower, like
yeah.
First couple times we did it, oh my gosh.
You got a new spot at the airport. How's that going?
It's lovely. It's nice.
Yeah. So
it's nice to have extended conversations with people again, you know.
Because previously you were at basically just a glorified walk-up portable bar, and now you actually have some bar seats. So what were you telling me recently? You had to reassert yourself with having dialogue?
Well, you know, like after all the years that I've bartended, you know, like it's just kind of, you know, it's hard to, I'm a people person still, but as I age, it gets harder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But I do enjoy it. I do really enjoy meeting people and talking to people, and what better place to meet people from all around the world? Literally, you know, we literally probably. I mean, how many countries do you think you've waited on from people from around the world at different bars you've worked at?
Countries?
Yeah.
Oh, at least 30.
Yeah, at least 30, 40.
Yeah. And then we go and we don't do it, but then this damn airline goes and boondoggles its operations last Friday night.
Yeah.
Spirit Airlines. I was working, it was my Monday, and I literally had all these people that were coming over from, they're in A-Gates, right?
Yeah.
A-Gates, and they were looking just for some sort of relief because trying to get on a Southwest flight, because literally I had a gentleman trying to get out to Los Angeles for a concert, tell me he was walking down the jetway, and the flight attendant said, this flight is canceled, we are ceasing operations, we cannot help you.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Welcome to the weekend.
A little footnote, Spirit Airlines started as, I believe it was Charter Airlines, 1984, I believe it was.
Yeah.
42 years.
Yeah.
They changed their name in like 86 or something like that. And then, so 42 years. So people think of it as a more newer, but I think it's just the expansion.
Yeah, I think I was reading this morning, first major airline to shut down domestically in 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of things surrounding that. You know, obviously it was its second time through bankruptcy, and they were trying to get, you know, all these different things, these adages, you know, that JetBlue wanted to buy into them. It was denied because of monopoly reasons. I mean, obviously it was the low budget discount airline. One of the YouTube videos I referenced was by Not Leaving Las Vegas. I believe his name is Steven, and I watch his stuff sometimes.
Leaving Las Vegas? Las Vegas?
Not Leaving Las Vegas. And he was stating that, you know, as we kind of talk about the K economy sometimes, that, you know, Spirit brought roughly 8 million passengers a year into Las Vegas.
Yeah. They were the number 2 carrier into Las Vegas.
This is true, yes.
Before the second bankruptcy?
Yes.
They dropped down to 8.
So with that bringing 8 million budgeted-minded travelers, now you no longer have, I mean, it's not going to be just 8 million people fall out off the planet. You know, I mean, obviously other airlines will pick up where they have faltered. But, I mean, obviously people allowed themselves maybe not the luxuries of additional baggage, or they traveled simply, but they came here on a budget to blow off some steam.
Flight. I could literally get off work, fly to Seattle, fly back from Seattle, and go right to work because the timing was perfect.
Okay.
And it was $81 round trip.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And all I would pack was a suitcase, or not a suitcase, but a backpack.
And so for all the bitching about, you know, everything they didn't do, there was still a lot of people that appreciated that airline.
Well, the one thing that I had talked to some people about is that airlines are pretty much the only thing that has gotten cheaper throughout history.
Really?
Yeah. So with you know, if you look at inflation and the cost of goods, airlines have expanding, and getting more and more people to travel.
Yeah.
So, you know, that being said, 17,000 people lost their jobs instantly.
Right.
You know, at 2 a.m., they I don't even know if they got an email, but, you know, can you imagine if you're a flight attendant, you're in a city you're not from, and you're like, okay, we're done. You lose your flight benefits instantly.
Yeah.
You know, so what are you supposed to do?
I mean, obviously, it's a boondoggle in the whole economy, and it's just a continuation of, I mean, like the short-sighted, I guess, is it's because of jet fuel prices, right? I mean, we fill it, well, you don't fill it in your pocket because you have an EV, but like, you know, gas is up to over $4 a gallon nationally now, and I think, you know, Vegas.
Did you see that last night? We went to McMullen's, and the price of gas at the gas station right there was $5.69, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy here. I mean, you know, it's just nuts. I mean, I think last episode I talked about, we were out in Death Valley a couple of weeks ago, and diesel in Shoshone, California was like $9.43 a gallon.
It's probably more than that now.
Yeah, it's probably more than that. So Spirit Airlines is now defunct. Immediacy, there's been some closures within a couple of the terminals as they kind of figure out if they're going to reroute
I think
flights.
At our airport, I think I think somebody said 99 employees just at Harry Reid are affected by this one.
Really?
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, there's another video on YouTube that I watched this morning and I shared with you that said Harry Reid has quite a different problem, that we're going to hit capacity by the end of the decade. We had people passing through, not necessarily landing, but all the bodies that would, you know, transfer, or what, you know, if they're coming from Sacramento to go here, to go to Tucson or whatever. There was 58.4 million passengers in 2024, a record.
Yeah.
And then
we're going to definitely not hit that this year. That's for sure.
That's 5th in the world for aircraft movement. The hard ceiling for us, so if we're at 58 2 years ago, we were down a little bit last year, but the ceiling of what the capacity of the airport can handle is 63 to 65 million people, which they project to hit that by 2029, 2030.
Really?
Now, take into account what just happened with Spirit, maybe it's a year or two more, wherein the problem lies is we sit on like 2,800 acres, the airport space currently.
Would you say one time you said that, how much would that be valued at?
Over $12 billion.
$12 billion.
Billion, yeah.
Wow. Just the land alone.
Just the land alone. So if that went away, I mean, obviously, everything is encroached around it. I mean, there is no more space to build another runway.
Yeah.
Not currently at Harry Reid. And then we share the airspace with Nellis. So Las Vegas, you know, Harry Reid International shares the space with Nellis. And then we have that little area called Area 51. So that allows for, like, the airlines can only take certain approaches. So you have all these little instruments that are compiling not necessarily against Harry Reid International, but if it's truly going to tap out at 63 to 65 million by the end of the decade, they've already sequestered that they have the land use for Ivanpah about 20 minutes down the road, but nothing's began yet.
Where, and if you don't know where that is, basically where the Pioneer Saloon is, that area.
Yes.
Where, if you guys don't know, Pioneer Saloon is featured in the game Fallout New Vegas, for those that are gamers in it.
So they said at the earliest, Ivanpah, which would have 2 runways, at the earliest would be open in 2035, so 9 years. from today?
Well, they're expanding the airport. They're adding what I think from Terminal 1, they're adding like 20 more gates, I believe it is.
They
probably,
are. They are.
with the remodel.
Yeah, they're trying to mitigate some of it. They're adding gates where the old terminals used to be, I think. And then are they going to deconstruct the current A gate and B gates?
Well, from you've seen the pictures.
Yeah.
It's hard to say just what they're going to do because it's kind of an overlay. But yeah, completely tearing. Those round UFO looking things, they're going to be gone. Like it's going to look more like terminal the D gates kind of, I believe.
Right. Okay.
But it's it's funny, they're finally changing the name of Terminal 1 to Terminal 3 to Terminal 2.
Right.
Because it just makes absolutely no sense because you have Terminal 1 and Terminal 3.
Yes.
And people are just constantly
because the old Terminal 2 has been disbanded for more than a decade, right?
Yeah, well, it used to be the old international area.
So that confuses people every day because we see it in the trenches.
I'm confused right now.
Yeah. Keep drinking, sir. But as Vegas increasingly pushes for these events, the Formula Ones, the Sphere residencies, the WrestleManias, the MLB stadium being built, going back, circling around to the Spirit, it's like we're going away from the budget-minded traveler to where we're going for the traveler that they just basically assume they're going to come in and drop a lot of money because they expect to. I mean, WrestleMania is not a cheap itinerary.
I'm sure. I don't even know what the tickets are.
The Super Bowl is not a cheap itinerary. Formula One is definitely not a cheap itinerary.
Metallica tickets, I don't know what they are now. 2 nights, $750 per seat.
Yeah, I want justice for all, but Jesus Christ,
that is not justice for all. That is absolutely not.
Right. That is capitalism at its finest.
Yes, sir.
So that's going on at the airport. So as things shake out, like a little bit of more you and I world, I went in front of the county commission yesterday.
What?
And talked about the airport.
No way.
Yes.
You had something to say about something?
I had something to say about something. Apparently I make TikToks. So, no, the Culinary and Bartenders Union asked me to continue as we make our inroads with the county commissioners, talking about what is actually happening in the airport. I forget the statistic of, in a roundabout way, the airport employs roughly 200,000 people in this town with ancillary services that come into and provided, the people like you or I that are in the streets every day. There's obviously hundreds, if not thousands of us within the airport itself, but just all these different industries that funnel through there,
Mm-hmm.
And so it's obviously a large revenue generator for not only the city, the county, the state. So as we speak to that, I spoke. Jameson Black.
Be spoken. Be spoken.
So that was an interesting time. I've been down to the county commissioners' bi-weekly meeting.
You're literally a troublemaker. You know that? Like, you had to go down there for your animals.
Yeah.
And speak on behalf of your dogs.
Yes. So
because your dogs can't speak, they speak in a different language.
Yeah. If you're watching the video, I get a lot of these.
Yeah.
But if you are just listening to it, the look of respite. But I've spoke to Clark County.
I think we've talked about it before. But his dog, one of his dogs, he's got 3 dogs. KC, he's a Malinois, and Chris is a little bit taller than I am, but that dog loves to put his paws up on my shoulders because we're eye to eye.
Yeah.
And he I think he likes that because he's like, I'm like you.
He's like, entertain me, Darren.
What do you chew on your hand for a half an hour?
Yeah. Let me wrangle your hand and tell you that I love you in my dog speak.
Yeah.
And then where's Dad? Ferris?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was, it was interesting. Obviously to get out and participate because we all kind of get our own little worlds and we, just do what we do. But then sometimes it's good to, shake the tree.
I believe you are an excellent public speaker.
Yeah, I'm working on it. And then speaking of shaking trees, I guess the arborist in me today, I was cutting a tree, helping Mr. Rafferty.
Well, you know what I was doing? Cutting the cheese.
If I'm not shaking, I'm cutting. And he's,
it's funny when you said that. I was thinking, I literally just saw the trailer for the new He-Man movie.
Okay.
It's coming out.
Okay.
And you said you were cutting down a tree, and I was like, tree man.
Yeah.
Did you have your sword, whacking away?
No, we had a very Echo brand chainsaw, and then it's like, and I told it. Dennis Red helped out too over at Raffo's house.
Oh God, was that like Larry Curly Moe?
Yeah, exactly. George of the Jungle.
Oh God.
Copyright claim. But no, I was like, oh, I didn't know he was coming, and then like to have the chainsaw, I'm like, well, let's do this, boys. I mean, this is Tim, the Tool Man Taylor 101, where I just wanted to grunt when you're running that thing.
So how did it go? Did you handle it?
Yeah, I handled it, and then there was some miscommunication, and then I tried to adjust that, and then I go, wait, there's a bin down the street because somebody was doing a backyard remodel. He's like, Ralph, go ask if you can throw some limbs in there.
Yeah.
Why would I do that? I
Because
go,
it's free.
because it's free, and I go, I don't have to go get my father's vehicle and go to Eastgate to dump.
Yeah.
So guess what we did? Life gives you lemons. We found the yellow dumpster.
Yeah, because they don't charge you on weight, do they? They just charge you for the rental.
No, and what? Yeah, but we just sought out the neighbor, and he was very cool about it. And I said, hey, we have some limbs. He's like, yeah, no problem. And
Can I tell you a story about a time I rented one of those dumpsters?
Sure.
This is a stupid story, but I hired these guys to clear out my my house, the carpet and the tile, and I said, don't touch anything in any of the closets or anything like that. Just take the carpet and the tiles out. And so they showed up a little bit before I did.
Okay.
Because I was working, and I got there, and the one thing I told them not to do, they did. But in my closet, I had this Lego set. It was at the time it was only like $400. It was a Star Destroyer.
Okay.
And they had literally taken it from the closet and threw it in the dumpster, and it was just smashed in there, and then it was covered by carpet and tile and everything. And that's Lego set now is worth like over $1,000. You know. Damn. I know they just threw it in there like it was trash. I was so upset.
Oh.
But hey, I wasn't there. My fault. Whatever.
What are you gonna do? But it was a nice day to cut a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was like sitting there as I was sweating profusely, carrying logs down the street.
Let's take a quick break, and then we'll be right back. Okay.
Yeah. Back, episode 40. 2 sticks with the spirit of amber is a yellow of your energy.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Absolutely.
So, last night we went to a local bar, and I don't want to say any names really, but like
Rhymes with Bogart.
the bar we went to, they were expecting somebody else to be there, and we got there. I was pleasantly surprised because the girl was a rather attractive female. I don't know anything about the personality. I was just doing things strictly based on looks.
Yes.
She kind of looked like Harley Quinn, a little more green and yellow than red and blue.
Let's just say DB's rods and cones were firing.
Yeah, so the bartender that was supposed to be there wasn't there, so we just had one round. But I was egging on your wife, who was like not into the she didn't want to stick around because she didn't particularly care for the girl, and she wasn't like giving the best service ever. But one of the things I wanted to bring up was like we were sitting at the non-gaming area. And, as we well know, like when you're a gaming bartender, you're going to pay, that you're going to get tips off people winning off your slot machines.
Right.
You should pay attention to everybody equally, but you tend to pay more attention to the people that could potentially give you a much bigger tip, right?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Speaking of, did we talk about that last week? The $160,000?
We did briefly, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that. As well, and the gratuity for that payout we found out was only was $300, and you and I were talking about that. We haven't been gaming bartenders in a long time, and I'm like, so if you're a gaming bartender and you hit a jackpot like that, 10% is typically the go-to. So if you hit $1,000, you tip $100, and that's strictly like a gaming bartender thing. That's what you should do. But this particular person left $300 on $160,000. We were talking about what we think would be an appropriate tip because obviously, a friend of ours, Joey, he said he would definitely leave him $16,000.
Would you leave $16,000 to someone you didn't know?
I would like, unless it was like somebody like you, if I knew you and we had a really good relationship and I've known you for a long time, yeah, I probably would. But if I didn't know him, I'd probably still leave like $5,000.
Now, being that we have not worked in a gaming bar environment for a handful of years, but we still talk to people that do, and we found out that said person left $300 because he was upset that the route operator took 5 hours to pay them.
And my comment on that was basically like, it's not the bartender's fault. Like, why take And that just tells me the person wasn't going to do it in the first place. Is just trying to make an excuse because A, it wasn't the bartender's fault. And B, just don't make it. If you're not going to tip, just don't make excuses. Just don't tip.
Yeah.
The minute you start making excuses, you're just a jerk. That's all you are.
So if you're watching this later, when we chop this up on Opus, what would you think an appropriate tip would be for a $160,000 Keno hit?
I mean, me personally, any money I make is the right kind of money, because I had a manager tell me once many years ago, he said, if you're in this business for one tip, you're in this business for the wrong reason. So everything adds up. So yes, the guy didn't get a $16,000 tip. I would be disappointed with a $300 tip, but I'd also be happy with a $300 tip because yeah, that's $300 more than I had in my wallet yesterday.
Because as a former coworker once said to me and always says to me, it was more money than I walked in with.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's kind of the way you have to take it as a bartender. Because if you're worried about one tip, A, you need to maybe think about your finances, and B, you need to not stress out about it because it's something that is not required. Tipping is never required. It is always appreciated.
Now, equally on an ostentatious note that we also spoke about, I believe, last week too, is PTs has around town, they're really blasting out on billboards and within their own branded properties of talking about their dollar push 10-spot Keno hit for $200,000 that was supposed to be capped at $200,000, but I think they've raised it to $500,000.
Did it hit?
It hasn't hit. No.
Oh wow.
So I thought it was supposed to be paid out by $200,000, but I was informed of the terminology.
So coming into town, here's my tip to you: go to any PTs, just put $20 on a 10 spot quick pick, and see what happens. Because hey, that's probably what's going to happen. It's going to be somebody is going to put a $20 bill in, they're going to quick pick it, and they're going to hit it.
Yeah, I mean, everyone can play that top line 1 through 10. I mean, how many times?
I've seen that hit maybe once or twice.
A 10 spot is very difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, mathematically,
it's like over 2.1 million to 1 or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it's very high.
Speaking of mathematical improbabilities, we mentioned it in the top of the segment. The Prem Outlet Mall is closing. What's left of it anyway, down the road in Prem, and with that is the gas station that sells for all the Las Vegans that drive down there when the Powerball gets high. That particular gas station is closing, so you now have to go to Arizona, a little longer drive, if you want to participate.
Well, there's also that Terrible's that just opened.
Yeah,
by the California State Patrol checkpoint there.
But that's on the Nevada side.
No, it's in the California side.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
It's pretty new. You haven't driven to California. I drive to California once a month.
Well, yeah, but that whole Terrible Chevron setup is supposed to be like a Buc-ee's, right?
Well, no, that was a different one. This one,
is it?
One is just past for right before you go up into the mountains. It's right on the. It's on the.
Well, that's not too
incoming side. So it's about an additional maybe 5-minute drive, 10-minute drive, maybe. You can get tickets there. But to be honest with you, I went in there one time to get a lotto ticket, and it was just garbage in there. It looked like a DMV, and there's nothing in there but a couple of vending machines. So it's really not a big deal.
I see.
Yeah.
Hey, I know one of the things that we like about working at the airport is kind of talking about how we talked earlier in this segment about how many different people we see from not only different states but different countries, and every now and again you get a pretty interesting cat. And I was talking to this guy named Brett Berry, who was from Austin, Texas. He was out here for a bachelor party.
Okay.
I won't mention which club they went to, but he ended up,
that would fall under the bro code that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Don't throw him under the bus like that, Chris.
That's why I didn't do that. But he's partial owner of 2 or 3 bars in Austin, the Armadillo Inn, the Rustic Tap House, and some Warren's Backyard, I want to say it is.
All right.
Not familiar with any of those, but they're all like ice houses. Now, I've never been to an ice house in Austin, but I've been to many in Houston in the past.
Now, we're talking ice houses are they used to sell ice back in the day.
Yeah, and like hot Texas day, when you go out and basically glorified, outdoor setup.
There was downtown in Vegas. There was a bar called the Ice House.
No, this is true. Yeah.
And it was an old converted ice house.
Yeah. So
speaking of ice houses, I saw this clip today on Facebook. There's a guy in New York. He makes custom ice
Okay.
for the nightclubs, and he said it's a $2.1 million a year operation.
Really?
I'm like, he's like, you make a lot more money making ice than you can making those fancy drinks. I was like, Jesus. They were cool though. They had like flowers in them, and I'm like, Chris, you and I always thought maybe we should start a bar together, but now I'm thinking we need to start an ice company.
He's got a 3D printer. I mean, the molds are the opportunity.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Boy, this Carlsberg's giving me the burps. But yeah, interesting cat to talk to. Of course, we talked shop talk, we talked industry, we talked about stuff we talked about here on the podcast. He joined the group, so I don't know if he's listening on the live stream yet, but if you are, shout out to you, Brett. Nice chatting. Equally, I forgot to mention their names last week. You had the couple that first sat with you.
Oh, yeah.
From Kansas City.
Yeah.
And then you pushed them my way, Tony, and I forget her name, and I apologize if you guys are listening, but you were awesome also.
They were super nice.
And that's just kind of like what the fun part of working at the airport's about, is because you get to meet these people from all over the country and
we had
the world.
Some great crowds this week. It was so cool to have you would literally have like a country fan sitting next to a fish fan, Morgan Wallen. I learned that you're not allowed to call him Morgan Whalen because it's not his name, it's Morgan Wallen. And then Fish.
Yeah.
So just eclectic groups, really fun people.
And then Friday, Morgan Wallen played 2 nights at Allegiant, and the first night, Brooks and Dunn opened for him, so an oldie but a goodie.
That's like more my speed.
Yeah, Boot Scoot and Boogie.
Boot Scoot and Boogie.
Hi, Maria. And then Saturday night, Thomas Rhett. I'm not as familiar with his work. Are you?
Dude, if it's not Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, I have no idea what it is. Or Garth Brooks. I saw Garth Brooks a million years ago.
All these prequels for DP. But yeah,
Speaking
like you said.
I got to send you a link to that album. Ben Folds 5, William Shatner.
Yes, you do. Yes.
Yeah, has been a phenomenal album. And it's country.
Love Ben Folds 5, Jackson Cannery.
Yeah.
What else? We got a few more things to talk about here. Big one coming up. VGK in round 2. We're going to get out of here to go watch that game. They're playing currently the Anaheim Ducks. I wish you luck, Anaheim Ducks and Mrs. Starkey, but not that much luck.
I saw a meme. It was like the old Nintendo. Remember the old Nintendo game Duck Hunt?
Oh, I loved it.
It was a Golden Knight in 8-bit with the old Nintendo.
Oh, I saw that. That was great.
Shooting ducks.
That was great. Yeah, whoever created that on ChatGPT or whatever, LLM. Thank you.
Yeah, it was very cool.
But that's going on tonight. So there was a mystery no call, they say, in game 1. Who knows? It's going to be at the Fortress.
I had a gentleman at the bar the other day that was from, he worked for the front office of the Anaheim Ducks. I don't remember his name, unfortunately. I'm terrible with names.
John Cockdoston?
But I had an interesting conversation with him because he was here for the playoffs.
Okay.
And I was showing him the business card that I got. So before the Golden Knights were even here, I had a lady come into my bar with a business card. And she's like, I heard the owners are big hockey fans, so I wanted to come check the place out because I'd heard this is the place to hang out. And so she gave me her card to give to them, and it was before they had the Knight's name or anything, and it was something to do with the owner's military background.
Okay.
That was their like Valiant or something like that. Yeah. So it was that kind of logo before they finalized it.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of unique, I got to see it before it was real.
Let's start to wrap this one up. Last week, you, Raul, and myself went to Huntridge Tavern.
Yes.
Why did we do that?
Because we are going to have one of our very first event.
Yes, we are. First event notice. Here it is.
So on
June 25th,
which is
Bourdain Day.
We will be hosting an event from 4 to 7 at the Huntridge.
4 to 10.
4 to 10, excuse me.
Yeah. So.
We're going to have Jameson Black Barrel because he was
seen on camera, 12 years ago when they filmed at the Huntridge, he was seen on camera drinking Jameson Black Barrel. So with our relationship with Raul, and he was very beneficial in saying, fuck yes.
Yes.
That it's not just 2 dudes that have a podcast that's growing, but it's 2 dudes with the power of Jameson branding to put some extra special things together. So details still developing. I'm going to start developing stuff online here quickly. The assets are being commissions. We're reaching out to people that worked within his camp. So I have gone every year since he passed in 2018 down there on the day and had a little tipple.
Yeah.
And we just want to share that, not with just...
We went last year, and that was funny, that interaction we had.
Yeah.
We were trying to film a quick little bit, and this gal was like, you can't film in here. I'm like, we asked the owner.
Right. We had permission from everybody except for her.
And she wasn't even on camera, but she had to let it be known that she didn't like the camera. I think it's really strange that people get weird about cameras because they're literally everywhere.
Right, exactly.
And I'm like, if what's up?
Which, well, we don't have it on the show notes, but we talked about that last night too, because that new Bansky piece showed up in Central London this week.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah. And
was that before the Jaeger or after the Tullamore?
That was after the Black Velvet, before the Jaeger. And
God.
And
yeah.
But no, we talked about that. That showed up in Central London this week, and we talked about people like being like, "Why am I on camera?" I mean, you literally walk into any establishment in this country, in the world anymore, and you're probably on 5 cameras.
I think I heard a stat in London. If you were in London, if you walk out of your house, you were on camera.
Yeah.
Within like 3 feet of your house.
So another question when we chop this up on Opus is, what do you think of the new Bansky piece in Central London?
I think you and I were talking about that they're like, there's no way they got him on camera not putting it up there. But I'm like, with a movement as big as his is, he's got insider info. You know, he's got people that know.
And that's what you talked about, because we talked about V for Vendetta, which you are much more in line with than I am. And apparently I need to read the book. So we're going off script here a little bit, but that's what we do because, goddamn it, it's our podcast and we'll drink Black Barrel if we want to.
That's why we do this. This is kind of like bar chat. You know, we bring you the bartender talk, you know, that we...
If you're coming to the airport and you hang out with us, or if we still work at McMullen's or all of our various other ports of call, I mean, we kind of like talked last week about, I mean, this is just glorified bar banter.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy? Like, at any given day, you know, like the swings in conversations we have are just, you know...
Squirrel?
Exactly. You know, like, 1 minute you could be talking about like raising daughters and Barbies, and the next thing you're talking about like war in the Middle East. And you're like, you know, this is the kind of things we have to deal with every single day.
But before we get into like the final segment, which is just very basic and simple, let's circle around with Bourdain Day. That it's June 25th. There's going to be a DJ. There's going to be special coins. There's going to be a donation to the CIA, which is not the Central Intelligence Agency, but the Culinary Institute of America, of which they have a foundation set up for him for future people that want to work within the industry, the back of house, the kitchen, whatever. So, I mean, we're putting a little more merit in it. It's not just like, you know, afternoon dick jokes on a Thursday drinking a bottle of Black Barrel.
Is it a sanctioned event? Is it known to the people in his realm, or?
Oh, absolutely. Well, it was started fundamentally by Jose Andreas and Eric Repair as a remembrance to him.
Yeah.
So I mean, it has its.
And I've always said Chris looks like if they did a DNA test, he looks like a leaner, meaner version of Bourdain. Like, I could see the genetics. They're here.
I'm a fuller version of Bourdain. Yes.
Yes, a much more full. Yeah. Bourdain could step inside you.
Right.
And wear you as a suit.
But maybe I studied jiu-jitsu and things changed.
Hey.
I mean, all things to talk about on Bourdain Day, June 25th at the Huntridge Tavern. We've got Jameson coming in to sponsor it with us. Mare at the Huntridge is going to help us. She is the general manager over there. So we're going to make this a boom diggity. We'll be right back.
Well, speaking of, no, we're not going anywhere yet. Speaking of, I'm just checking the time. I saw yesterday for the first time, I had no idea, A24 is making a film called Tony.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you shared that with me.
Yeah,
I was not familiar with.
Looks pretty fantastic. I don't even know any of the people in it except for what's his name, Puss in Boots guy, Zorro. What's his name?
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas. Yes. He plays some character in his life, but I'm sure it's going to be based off of the book Kitchen Confidential,
right?
Or at least parts of it, anyway. So looks pretty cool.
Coming to theaters soon. Bourdain Day, June 25th. We are the Vegas Day Drinkers. Sip, Socialize, Shine. Let's get all the branding in.
If you're going to be in Vegas on June 25th, you know where to go.
We're going to have a link up soon. I'll probably get a specialized domain so you can go sign up. And we're going to turn it into the HIZA.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Yep.
Final segment. We're going to wrap this thing up. We're going to get into episode 41 next week because we're going to try and do this every week until we get up to Bourdain Day.
We're gonna.
We're gonna. Well,
except for the fact that I'm going to be in Seattle next week, so we could do a Saturday day.
We might do our first Zoom.
Yeah, we could do a Zoom meetup.
Yeah. Darren was talking to me about bartender bro code.
Yeah. So like, I'm going to give you a really quick story. Basically, a friend of mine years ago saw him at a wedding. I hadn't seen him in years. Saw him at a wedding. He's like, "Hey, man, can I get a bottle of champagne?" I'm like, "Here's 2," because everything was on, everything was paid for. He's like, I'm taking this hot chick up to the room, baby. We're going to have a great night. And I'm like, cool, man. It's good to see you, bro. So about a year later, he comes into the establishment I'm actually working at. And I was like, yo, what's up, man? Last time I saw you, you were at that wedding and you picked up that hot chick. And right behind him was a lady. I had no idea who she was, with a stroller and like a car seat. Her jaw hit the floor. And I was like, what just happened? And he looked pissed off and he's like, what the fuck, man? Fight ensued. They left. That was it. I saw his parents about 3 or 4 months later, and they're like, oh my God, he's getting a divorce. And I was like, what? I didn't even know he's married. I just saw him at that wedding, and there was a girl. He was having fun. And then I saw him at the keg, and they're like, he wanted to kick your ass. And I'm like, why? Like, I didn't even know he's fucking married. Like, they're like, well, you're the reason he's getting a divorce. And I'm like, I'm not the reason he's getting divorced. He's the reason he's getting divorced because he cheated on his fucking wife. Yeah. So what I wanted to talk about, and maybe we can talk about in the next episode, we'll see what happens, is that what is the bro code? Like, what is the bartender's responsibility? Like, if you're going to be a douchebag and bring multiple girlfriends into an establishment, do you keep your mouth shut? Like, is it your responsibility to, like, know these things?
Sure.
Because I've been told I'm, if you do that, you're a rat. You're a filthy fucking rat. And
well, that elevated quickly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I swear a little bit. So, but like, are you a rat if you don't know? If you're not told? If you're not asked? I
mean, if you're the patron and it's your favorite pub, I mean, to have the wherewithal, if you're going to be,
When I have been
philandering.
When I have been philanderous, I'm not saying I've ever done it, but when the thoughts of, I would never go to my local. I would go somewhere else.
Right. Exactly.
So I think you're kind of asking for it. If you do that, you're kind of asking for it, and the bartender should not be held responsible for it.
Absolutely.
Sorry, that's the Jameson Black Barrel talking.
That's okay. That's okay. So like last week, we're trying different segments, and I still have not watched episode 3 of season 2 of Cheers.
I've watched it like 3 times now, Chris.
Yeah, we're getting there. But we're gonna do like urban slang, and last week we used the phrase glizzy. I was looking for a different phrase this week. It was used across the bar from this kid going home to SFO. Apparently, we've worked at the airport long enough because now we just use the code terms. Like, It's not like they didn't go to San Francisco; they went to SFO.
Yeah.
So he liked the espresso martini, and he said it ate.
It ate?
It ate, which I guess is good.
Well, I mean,
but I couldn't find that in the urban slang dictionary and in my quick search before I came over here because we needed to get some content created. Because apparently that's what I just do. I troll the Las Vegas bartenders and servers page.
Oh, God.
Looking for content to create. And if I actually even work in the industry, yes.
If you ever want to see a train wreck live as it happens, just join that group and see what happens. It's really just, really like the best of humanity.
Just vet the fucking question and actually think before you comment,
Cheers to that.
Jesus. Anyway, it ate, so that's good. I couldn't find a specific thing.
But Carlsberg ate.
It ate.
I drank 8 of them.
Yeah, is it 8 or is it 8? But like Liberty Cabbage, what do you think it is?
Liberty Cabbage.
That's the slang word. It just popped up like first thing, and I thought it's kind of succinct because once I tell you what it is, you're like, okay, that makes sense because that's what he does.
Is it like the perm that's on top of an old lady's head that is like a judge?
What do you guys think Liberty Cabbage is? TikTok, if you're still watching, Liberty Cabbage. Any guesses without looking it up on your AI devices?
I have no idea. What is it?
Didn't know this. Of course, we weren't alive when it was coined because when in World War II days, when we were opposed to the Germans, instead of saying sauerkraut because we didn't want to do homage, we called it Liberty Cabbage. Much like in the Bush era administration, the presidency, they became freedom fries, not French fries.
Oh, gotcha.
So back in the day, if you were talking about a Jerry and your favorite number in German was 9, you didn't say sauerkraut.
Yeah.
You said Liberty Cabbage. If
you ordered a Reuben, hold the Liberty Cabbage.
Hold the Liberty Cabbage.
Gotcha. Thanks for that.
Yeah, that's good. Speaking of the Reuben, pastrami, the hat. We talked about that last night.
Yes, the hat opens today.
It opens today.
Are you going to give it a go? You've never had it.
I've never had the hat.
So
I had a calf.
My understanding of it is that it predates Arby's, but it was popular around the Brown Derby era. So the logo kind of like...
Okay.
this is just me talking out of sorts. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, and then Arby's like kind of stole their thunder, but they've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So they have a fantastic menu. Great pastrami sandwich. They have roast beef. They have burgers. They have hot dogs. They have pastrami fries. They have chili fries. Just a little bit of everything. But if you live in Southern California, you know. And welcome to Las Vegas, the Hat.
Opened their first location on South Rainbow today, just a little north of Sunset, but in between like Russell and Sunset. So
I think you and I should go together. That way, I
yeah. Even though this is a Vegas Day Drinkers, maybe we should go have a Vegas Hat.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Which is a good wrap. Anything else before you go?
No, I think I'm going to go have a Liberty cabbage sandwich with some pastrami on it.
Yeah, not some.
And some Carlsberg.
Yeah. All right. Episode 42 sticks with the spirit of amber is the yellow of your energy. If you can't say that 3 times fast, maybe you should have some more Jameson
And
Black
I
Barrel.
absolutely adored Amber. She made me happy for about 30 seconds.
Whoa, whoa, is the color of her energy.
No, it was green and yellow.
Sip, socialize, shine. All right.